Okay, it did on the German one an hour ago. Most of the questions will come afterwards. But anyway, we will wait until the appointed hour. Sorry, I got it running on two computers and just turn the other one sound off so that we don't have this feedback. So I hope everybody can hear me. Somebody type a quick message to confirm that you can hear, and that would be really good. No, nobody's got a typewriter handy. It's a keyboard, one of these. Just go, I can hear you. Thanks for your advice to get your English channel. Okay. Can hear you. Wonderful, thank you. That's all I wanted to know. To check that it's actually working. Oh, hi, Willie. You were there on the German one an hour ago. Or was it 2 hours ago? No, it was 2 hours ago. Yeah. So how are we doing? 2 minutes. Yeah. Interesting. Why would that be, Eric? But usually that means that there's a problem with your internet connection. It is something too slow. Tend to get this in areas where the children come home, they've eaten tea, and then they all jump onto their smartphones, and then the bandwidth is used up with silly chit chat. Most people are on a shared line, so you lose bandwidth, and so you can get videos hanging up because there's not enough band there to transmit them. So 1 minute to go before we start. Yes, a little bit later now, Eric. They're all sort of being told to think about preparing for bed. Hi, Matthias. There has been a need of update for Windows. Oh, always keep your Windows updated. It's needed every time a hacker finds one of the holes that Microsoft have left in Windows for inserting spyware, and then they have to send you an update to close it. Which is why I'm in the process of switching to Linux, because they don't build holes in. Now, this is interesting. In my other computer, it's now hung up. Let me just refresh it and see if it cures itself. Oh, okay, it's working again now. So I'm using, there's about a 15-second delay between what I say and it appearing on YouTube. Technically there should not be, but there is. Anyway, so let us begin. So what this is all about, the sea moon or the consciousness moon, it's an entire astrological structure, of course. And what this does, it expands consciousness. And we can use the energy of it to make an enormous expansion and open lots of abilities which at the moment are not easy to access. And then I want to use the power that is generated to avert a world disaster. This world disaster is called 5G. And what we're going to do is we're going to first build up the power, as we're doing today, tomorrow, and Friday. And then on Saturday, there will be 3 separate transmissions which will build up the power again, but also at the same time directly use it to change some of the parameters in the field so that we avoid this big problem. That's the way it's supposed to work anyway. We shall see. In a way, it's very similar to an experiment that the University of Pennsylvania did a few years ago in Lebanon when the civil war was at its height. And a group of 9 experienced meditators meditated for an hour every day on Beirut and sent the energy of peace into Beirut, with the result that there was a very dramatic fall off in violence in the city, and for the days on which they did it, and then they stopped, and then violence went back up. And they did this as an experiment to find out whether it would work, and that was it. They never went any further with it. And when it should be been obvious that if you keep going at it, you're going to create the preconditions for peace in Lebanon. But they didn't. So basically what I'm saying here is that this is a start. And I hope as a group we will go on to do lots and lots of things as we develop our powers. Now, the first of the tools that you need to power things up is the feeling thankfulness. And this has to do with your heart. Now, first of all, you need to know where your heart is, which a lot of people don't. In fact, you put it on your stomach. Now, if you fold your left arm up at the elbow so that the hand lies like that with the root of the little finger on the breastbone, and the other finger's pointing at about 45 degrees towards the right shoulder, thumb is folded in, your heart is there. Now, it's not just in that way diagonally in your body, it's also that way diagonally. So the ventricles are on the left side of the body and the atria are on the right, which is why when you go to a doctor and he or she takes a stethoscope out, first on the left side to hear the ventricles, and then on your back to hear the atria. So, but the heart is in the middle of the body. And this is where we're going to work with the first feeling. And the feeling is that which we call thankfulness. Now, what this actually is your own creative power. That's how your creative power feels. We call it thankfulness, but it's creation. Now, thankfulness, you must note, very important to note, is not the effect of a pleasant experience, it's the cause of a pleasant experience. So thankfulness is creative energy. So with thankfulness, you create what you want. This is explained in great detail in the book, The Key to Luck, which I wrote a couple of years ago now. And those who have it know that this is the one of the keys, and that you work via the heart, because the heart is the transmitter that speaks with the universe. I see the part of you that's its job, to via your heart to tell the universe what you want. And the universe always does exactly what you tell it to do. Even if you think afterwards, I didn't want that, but you ordered it with your expectations, your fears, your whatever. And that's why I wrote the book, The Key to Luck, to teach you how to reprogram your expectations so that you get what you want instead of repeating what you don't want. Anyway, this is all about buying. So the first thing we've got to do is we need to generate this feeling of thankfulness. And I'm going to help you on this by adding a sort of transmission. There are quite a few people are used to them. And to help further over the next 10 minutes, I will help you to focus the feeling of thankfulness in your heart. So, ready, steady, go. So just focus in your heart and feel thankfulness there. That's all you need to do. Mhm. Now, the second feeling that you need is love. Now, there is no particular organ of the human body which resonates specifically with love. It's the whole of your being. The source is love. So by practicing love, you're practicing being one with the source. And I don't mean HP source. And the unusual thing that we're going to do is we're not going to give love, we're going to accept it. Something that sometimes a lot of people have been actively discouraged from doing, but it's essential for your physical and mental health. So you know what it feels like to give love outside of yourself to someone, give it inside, give it into yourself. So this is the second necessary exercise that we'll start this evening or this morning, some of you. So again, I will help you to do this, to focus the feeling of love inside yourself. Self-love, being who you truly are, one with the Creator. Sorry. So keep practicing these two feelings. They'll generate or awaken and strengthen your creative power, but also because we all have the same source, it connects us all together so that it makes it possible for us together to use our creative power for a specific objective, whatever that may be. And we have a specific objective on Saturday. So there's a little bit of help you can get with thankfulness. There is a mantra that you can sing which will generate the frequency of thankfulness, and that you will find in the mantra apothecary, or you can access it via karmabooks.co.uk. For love, well, no, there isn't. It is what you really are. And bringing the love inside is what gets you to where you want to be. So we've quite a lot to do on Saturday. What I've just done, I'll be repeating at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, Berlin, Amsterdam time. You can work out from there what time it is in your part of the world. And I hope to see a lot more people there. Now, got a few minutes to answer some questions if anybody wants to put any in the chat. Oh, thank you. Accept dance. Interesting name, username. Reminds me of a bit of someone I used to know who had an interesting email address, and it was her xlnc at, I can't remember what the domain was, but if you say it quickly, Her Excellency. No, not a bad thing. So no questions. So we'll see. Please make healing video for skin problems and glowing skin. That's much too vague, Rani. There are so many so-called skin problems which aren't skin problems at all. More often than not, it's one or more of the internal organs are so overburdened that they start processing or giving part of their function over to the skin. And what you're seeing there is a detoxification of one or more organs via the skin. So just looking at the symptom is too vague. We need to know a lot more about it. But send me an email and then we can take it from there. Ich habe leider den Essenshaffer-Passport geht es dann. Ich erkläre es morgen. On the there'll be a repeat, but a stronger form of this tomorrow and on Friday evening, and then Saturday we do the real thing. Which recommend we need to watch to help others grow? There isn't one, Curtis. You do it by example, being who you are, and then people ask you, well, how did you get there? Hyperpigmentation, skin tightening. There are so many possible causes of that, Rani. It's too vague. No, Curtis, you can't do Dante's work for her. Only she can do it. This is a fallacy that a lot of people fall into. They see other people suffering. But you can't change them. So don't even try. You just make big problems in the relationship with them. And actually achieve nothing. You've got to let them. You can make suggestions, but don't try and make the changes for them. They've got to do it themselves. So anyway, don't appear to be any more questions there. So we'll see each other either tomorrow evening at the same time, or tomorrow morning if you want to get up early like I have to. Megasim, how did you get these powers? Practice. Started in about 1964, and it took me from then until now to get where I am now, but there's more coming. Right, so we'll see each other. What time tomorrow morning? It's 5 a.m. London. So I don't know what time that is with you, but you can find out. You can Google the world clock online and find out. 5 a.m. London, whatever time that is for you. And then tomorrow evening at the same time. Okay, and this video will remain online until I delete it. Whether I will or not, I don't know. I'm curious to whether the transmissions will be as strong as a repeat as they are direct live. We shall see. I suspect not, because one of the reasons why some of the things that I do can't be on YouTube is because the bandwidth isn't, not the bandwidth, sorry, the density is inadequate, but also there are always a lot of interfering energies on YouTube, so they don't work as well. Some things can only be done on DVD. Well, you know, things get better. There are other ways of doing them, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.